Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that the people who built generational wealth centuries ago already figured out every financial mistake you are currently making. That is not an exaggeration. That is the uncomfortable truth sitting at the center of this video. Here is what nobody tells you. Old money families do not just have more dollars than you. They operate from an entirely different mental framework. And in 2026, while everyone else is chasing viral investment trends, cryptocurrency rebounds, and influencer finance advice, the people quietly winning are following rules that have not changed in 200 years. So what does your life actually look like in 2026 if you commit to those rules? Let us walk through it honestly. The first shift happens in your relationship with spending. Old money philosophy treats spending as something that requires justification, not celebration. New money spends to signal status. Old money spends to preserve and extend utility. In practical terms, this means you stop buying things that depreciate the moment you touch them and start directing resources toward things that hold or grow in value over time. In 2026, this shows up as a wardrobe with fewer pieces that last longer, a home that is maintained rather than upgraded for appearances, and zero monthly payments on things you could not afford outright. Here is the value that most people completely miss. The psychological freedom that comes from not owing money for depreciating assets is genuinely life-changing. You wake up differently. Your decisions are not clouded by anxiety about next month's payment schedule. The second transformation is in how you think about income. Old money families historically never relied on a single source of income. Not because they were greedy, but because they understood concentration risk before anyone had a term for it. In 2026, this translates into you having layered income streams. Not 5 side hustles running you into the ground, but deliberate, structured income from multiple sources that do not all depend on you working harder. Dividends, rental income, a small business interest, royalties. The structure matters more than the hustle. Now here is where the tension builds because this next part is where most people quit. Old money has a deeply uncomfortable relationship with patience. These families think in decades, sometimes generations. The average person in 2026 is optimizing for next quarter. Social media has completely wrecked our ability to sit with long-term decisions. Old money sits with them effortlessly because they were taught from childhood that slow accumulation is the game, not fast wins. If you adopt this mindset today, your 2026 looks radically different from your peers. While everyone around you is reacting to market news and adjusting their portfolios based on headlines, you are holding steady. You are not trying to time anything. You are compounding quietly. The social cost is real though. People will question your choices. They will wonder why you are not driving a newer car or taking the same vacations they post about. Old money does not explain itself. That is another rule. Privacy around finances is considered essential, not secretive. You do not discuss what you earn or what you own. This protects you from bad actors, from poor financial decisions driven by comparison, and from the psychological trap of lifestyle inflation. By mid-2026, if you are genuinely following these principles, something interesting starts happening. You have margin. Financial margin means you can absorb a job loss, a medical emergency, or an unexpected expense without your entire life collapsing. That margin is freedom in its most tangible form. There is also a relationship transformation that occurs. Old money culture places enormous weight on who you spend time with. Not from a place of snobbery, but from recognition that proximity to financially disciplined people accelerates your own discipline. If your 5 closest friends are impulsive spenders, you will trend toward impulsive spending. The environment shapes the behavior over time. Your reading habits change. Old money families have always had a reverence for knowledge that goes beyond entertainment. Books about history, economics, philosophy, and human nature replace passive scrolling. This is not accidental. Understanding patterns across long stretches of time gives you clarity that purely current information never can. Here is the payoff for staying with me through all of this. In 2026, the people who feel most financially stressed are not necessarily earning the least. They are the ones without a system, without patience, and without the foundational rules that old money families treat as non-negotiable. You now have those rules. The question sitting in front of you right now is incredibly simple. Will you apply them starting today, or will you wait for circumstances to force you? Old money never waited for the perfect moment. They created the structure first and let time do the rest. Your 2026 depends entirely on which version of yourself shows up this week.